Hello everyone and welcome to the Nature and Divine channel. Today we're continuing our exploration of the soul in this second part. The first part emphasized on the structure of the cosmos, relying on more of a scientific approach. In this part we'll take more of a literary approach to balance it out. If you haven't already, make sure to watch the first part of this exploration. It will be important to fully enjoy this one. Let's also quickly recap some of the main conclusions from the first part. There we saw how the cosmos is in fact a collection of harmonic resonant waves, and that each system of resonant waves is the foundation of a plane or domain of manifestation. Also, we described how these different cosmic regions have different densities and how it places them further away from the static origin. And finally, we left off saying that the soul is a cosmic being and that its existence is about traveling in the cosmos along two cosmic currents called ascending and descending. All right, are you guys ready? So let's continue our journey. So the premise of this channel is that we essentially come part from nature and part from the divine. But what do we mean by natural part? Well, in this physical plane, it is our body and everything that makes up for our biological machinery. But more specifically, it is our physiology. Because let's not forget that we are not just a set of fortuitous chemical processes, right? But rather a system that requires a precise level of coordination to accomplish very advanced tasks, some of them without even the need for our attention. We can think of blood circulation and digestion and even breathing that happens automatically. And remember, from the first part, we said that breathing is very special. It is an echo of a cosmic vibration. I will get back to breathing a little later. Our divine part is our soul. Remember, immaterial and immortal. And we said it earlier, the soul is a cosmic being, so it is by nature similar to the cosmos. We could see it as a seed within which the entire cosmos is somehow encoded, in the same way as an entire tree is contained within the seeds of its fruits. And to continue on this analogy, just as the seed of a tree needs certain conditions, such as ground and water and sun, in order to sprout, well, the soul needs heart, head, and hands to come to existence and express all its cosmic potential. When soul and body are combined together at birth, something very special happens. Together, they create what we can call a manifested small cosmos, a microcosm. In order to easily explain what a microcosm is, we can simply imagine the same collection of resonant waves as we saw in the first part of this exploration, but with waves with much smaller amplitudes. And this makes sense, right? We know now that the cosmos has a fractal structure where the same pattern repeats itself at every scale. Now, waves with the same frequency but with different amplitudes resonate, right? This means that we are constantly resonating with the cosmos and the cosmos with us. And remember, cosmos is Greek for order, and order is based on laws. So We can also understand the microcosm as a replica of the cosmic law at a human scale. And this is very important because it means that what we do, what we say, what we think, essentially who we are, is never in vain. Every microcosmic existence has an impact at the cosmic scale and has the possibility to make a difference. The combination of the soul and the body has been, in my opinion, wonderfully described by Edouard Chouret in his book, The Great Initiates. Let me paraphrase a passage from the chapter about Pythagoras. The soul's journey into the body unfolds gradually, step by step, as it becomes part of the living form. As it settles into the warmth of this new space, it begins to lose touch with the divine light it once knew. The body, with its layers of flesh and flowing blood, creates a veil that dims the soul's connection to that higher realm. The light fades into a distant glimmer, and with the intensity of birth, the soul becomes fully anchored in its earthly form. The child enters the world, its first cry a reflection of this new, unfamiliar reality. Yet, deep within, the memory of its divine origin remains, waiting to be awakened once more through knowledge, love, and life's trials. Here, we can understand that the newly formed microcosm bears the memory of the divine, but it is clouded by the intensity of our experience of life through our natural senses. Also, it is clearly said that we have to turn inwardly to look for the divine memory, because we won't find it outside of us in someone or something else. And on that note, let us remember the following verse from the New Testament. You are a letter, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living God, not on tablets of stone, but on tablets of human hearts. So now that we have some idea about how the soul is attached to the body and becomes physical, we can start asking the question, well, how does it go back to the divine origin it comes from? Because this is the actual reason why the soul needs to become spatial and temporal. It is in order to be able to act for its return. The soul's existence is related to virtue. Virtue is the quality of the soul, and it defines its maturity. By maturity here, we mean the transformation process that needs to be accomplished in order for the soul to become one with the original unity again. Everyone being at different stage on this path, virtue can manifest itself in various ways. By definition, virtue is a firm, constant disposition of the soul, which leads to doing good and fleeing evil. There's a clear connection with morality here, and in fact, the quality of our soul is our moral compass in life. To go a little further than morality, we can also think of service. And this citation from a French writer expresses beautifully the virtue of the soul. Virtue is an effort made on ourselves for the good of others with the intention of pleasing God alone. In the time of Pythagoras, initiates were shown a theater play portraying the story of Persephone. In this story, we can understand the central aspect of the virtue of the soul in the journey from and back to the origin. We can read in the book from Edouard Chouret, From Sphinx to Christ, the following passage. Demeter entrusted her daughter Persephone to the care of the nymphs, cautioning her not to pick the narcissus, a flower of temptation crafted by Eros. Its star-like whiteness hides a subtle desire, and its strong perfume can efface the memory of heaven. But she is tempted, in spite of the pleadings of the nymphs, and as she breathes the intoxicating smell, Hades appears, seizes her, takes her to the dark abyss of Tartarus, and marries her. There she is made queen and crowned with Narcissus. But despite all efforts made by Hades to seduce her with the wildest passions, she remains impenetrable, preserving the divine essence within her. Her unwavering virtue moves Zeus, her father, to grant Demeter permission to descend into the abyss and bring her beloved daughter back to the heavens. This story contains a lot of information about the existence of the soul in the cosmos. We understand that it comes from the heavens and needs to return to it. In the representation of the cosmos presented in the first part, we mentioned the static origin, a plane without frequency, without density, characterized by absolute unity, the point of origin of the soul. The soul is emitted, so to speak, from this origin down into manifestation, ascending the different planes with increasing fundamental frequencies and densities all the way to the physical plane. From there, the soul needs to remember its divine origin and destiny and remain truthful to it no matter what. This truthfulness to the cosmic plan is the virtue of the soul that we all must nurture. This not only in order to mature the soul for the journey back, it is also, as we mentioned in the first part, in order to manifest the divine in the different cosmic domains. And this is essential in order to enable a collective effort in this process. Another very interesting and fascinating aspect of this story is that Zeus permitted Hades to take her to the Tartarus in the first place. Here we see the necessity for the soul to make this experience. And the reason is the same as the one that tempted Persephone to breathe the Narcissus. It is the longing, we could almost say the craving of the soul for knowledge. And this is really what it is all about. The cosmic destiny of the soul is to become one with the divine. And what is the nature of the divine? It is creative. Creation is a divine act. The word comes from Latin creo, which literally means to bring into existence, to form out of nihility. Well, if nothing is pre-existing this creation, it can only come from knowledge, the divine knowledge. And if we remember our exploration of consciousness, we know that knowledge is the result of consciousness and the preamble to creation. To finish this exploration of the soul, I would like to say a few things about breathing and how important it is. Every tradition and spiritual practice includes singing, But what is singing beyond the sounds and prayers it may produce? Well, it is a channeling of breathing. Also, when we meditate, we start by taking control of our breathing, making it slower and deeper, and this allows us to resonate with cosmic planes which have lower frequencies and lower densities in order to get closer to the static origin. If you're interested in experiencing this shift in frequency, take a look at the Wim Hof breathing method. It is a great starting point and it is easy to try out during meditation. All right, this concludes our exploration of the soul. I really hope that you have appreciated this perspective. I tried taking both a scientific and a literary approach to the subject to give a balanced view. As usual, if you liked this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a comment. I would be more than happy to answer any of your questions. And I'll see you in the next one.